Well, we start this hour with CNN's unprecedented access to Ukraine's president on the front lines on eastern Ukraine. Ukraine says Russia has amassed an additional 50,000 troops, most of them on Russia's western border near the Donbas region. The rest in Crimea, where 31,000 troops are already deployed. That's the most Russian troops in the area since Russia annexed Crimea in 2014, in fighting that killed 14,000 people. Well, the latest troop buildup leading to fears of another Russian invasion and an appeal from Ukraine's president for help from the United States. Well, Matthew Chance is joining me now from Kiev with details on his startling tour of Ukraine's front line. Good to have you with us, Matthew. Incredible access you got there, because we know this war has been simmering away since 2015, but from what we're seeing, this massive escalation, the U.S. government calling it the biggest deployment of Russian troops on the ground on the border there in 7 years. Explain what you witnessed on the front line.
Yeah, you're right. There is broad concern now about what Russia might be up to with that build-up of forces across the border, which Ukrainian officials tell me is more than 50,000 personnel in recent weeks. It was incredible to be touring the damp trenches on the front lines of eastern Ukraine. With the president of the country, we spoke about how the troops are holding up, because it has been so many years since the conflict started. We spoke about what Russia might be up to. We also talked about what the United States and its allies can do to try and help bring this conflict to an end. To the front lines in eastern Ukraine, and a simmering conflict with Russian-backed rebels, once again the focus of US concern. As tensions with Russia ratchet higher, CNN has gained this unprecedented access to the Ukrainian president on a carefully planned troop visit, flying with him fast and low to avoid ground fire. It's been a long time now. It's been 7 years, this war.
Yes, during 7 years. Yes.
How are the soldiers? Are they holding up, or are they tired of this war?
They are tired, of course. Like any man, you know, during 7 years, it's longer than the Second World War. Yes, you see that, and it's terrible.
Longer than the second, but with its complex network of dank, muddy trenches, this so-called line of contact, in some places just a few dozen yards from the enemy, looks more like the First World War. I mean, we've entered this warren of trenches that have been dug along the front line. I can tell you, I mean, it's like being thrown back to the early 20th century and the Great War. Because I've not seen anything like this in modern warfare. But this is modern. The reality of confrontation with Moscow and its proxies. Is there a chance that the Russians could be planning an invasion?
Of course, we know it. Beginning from 2014, we know that it can be anyway, each day. It can be. So they are ready, but we are also ready, because we are on our land, on our territory.
This is why Ukraine, the US and the Western allies are so alarmed. Amid growing tensions, a dramatic build-up of Russian forces near the Ukrainian border and in Crimea. Cell phone footage has emerged of armoured columns like this one, and of military hardware being transported by rail towards the border. Ukrainian military officials tell CNN they estimate more than 50,000 Russian troops are now massing. Moscow says it's just an exercise, not a threat. But back at the line of contact, there's already been a deadly upsurge in sniper fire. More than 20 soldiers killed, say Ukrainian officials, so far this year. And out here, even the president runs the gauntlet. We've got to run for it, right?
Yes, run.
Okay.
Run.
All right, come on, let's go. So we're very close now, aren't we, to the separatists?
Yeah. That is open area.
was amazing. So we've come so close now to the front line between Ukrainian forces and the Russian-backed separatists that President Zelensky and I just had to run through the open ground to get to this cover because the situation is so volatile, so potentially dangerous here.
Head, when's your head? Your head.
Elected 2 years ago on a promise of ending this conflict, something he's failed to achieve, President Zelensky says he risks these hotspots, as he calls them, to show his frontline soldiers they have political support. But what Ukraine really needs, he says, is more assistance from Washington, more weapons, more money, and crucially, more backing to join NATO, the Western military alliance. Supportive words from President Biden, he says, are simply no longer enough.
Ukraine need more than words. That is the second. The third one.
Can I just ask a follow-up
Yes,
on
yes,
that?
yes.
You understand, don't you, that if Ukraine were to be given NATO membership,
Yeah.
that might make the conflict in this country even worse. It would infuriate Moscow.
I can tell you. I can answer you. Maybe you are right, but what now is going on? What we do here, what our people do here, they fight. So what can be in the future, I don't know, but we have independent country and we decide where to be or where not to be or not to be. You remember Shakespeare?
That is, as they say, the question. Or rather, how much US support can the Ukrainian president now expect in the running drama being played out in this theatre of war? Well, Linda, the prospect of Ukraine even moving a little bit closer to NATO membership is something the Russians have made clear they're fundamentally opposed to. Just recently, the foreign ministry spokeswoman in Moscow saying that even potential membership of NATO for Ukraine could have irreversible consequences for Ukraine's statehood. If that's not, a veiled threat, I don't know what is.
Matthew, some absolutely incredible reporting there on the front line, up close. And of course, this fighting picked up last month. Already we know at least 9 Ukrainian soldiers have died. Just give us a sense of how the Kremlin is trying to justify this.
Yeah, well, actually 20 Ukrainian soldiers, from what I've been told by Ukrainian officials, at least over the past, this year alone, because of the upsurge in violence along those front lines. In terms of what the Kremlin are doing, it's, as usual, pretty opaque. What they say is that these are regular military exercises, that these aren't intended to threaten anyone, and they're certainly not a precursor to any kind of military action. But Ukraine certainly feels threatened, and there's a big concern amongst the international community that something more ominous may sort of take place. Now, what's happening? Do they have a plan? Well, sometimes the Russians use military adventures to distract from problems domestically at home, and there's certainly a lot of problems at home in Russia. They also may be sending a message to Washington, to the Biden administration. Tensions are very high with Washington at the moment. There have been sanctions over allegations of hacking, over the treatment of Alexei Navalny, the opposition figure in the country. And it was only a couple of weeks ago that Joe Biden called Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, a killer. And you can bet he absolutely hated that. So this could be a test of the resolve, if you like, of the new Biden administration to see what they will do. Linda.
And we certainly will wait and see what response there is, if any, at this point in time. Matthew Chance, for us, great to have you on this very important story. Thank you.